My name is Catherine Popper. A few months ago, I went to visit my mother, where she lives in western North Carolina, where her family settled in the 1700s. Now, anybody who knows me will tell you I do not shut up about my ancestry. I was thrilled to stumble upon a genealogical library in nearby Asheville, and I decided to pay a visit. Mom is a pretty reasonably accommodating sidekick, as long as she gets to drive. I was really nervous when we rolled into the unassuming building that housed the library, and immediately was so impressed with how enthusiastic and interested the librarians were. I was stoked when they agreed to answer some questions.
I'm Nancy. I'm a volunteer with the Old Buchan County Genealogical Society. I've been volunteering since 1998. I've been doing genealogy for over 60 years. I got interested in genealogy as a child. We went family searching. We went searching for family graveyards and archives and libraries and cemeteries.
Well, I'm Carolyn Williams.
Volunteer Carolyn Williams developed her passion for genealogy when her dog Max stumbled upon a hillside grave.
He ran and then he ran up on a hillock surrounded by apple trees. And I followed him up there, and here were these graves. All of the resources that are here, it's a lot of times a lot easier to be here and go to the books, pull this book, pull that book, than it is looking online. And it's a treasure trove.
In other words, all the information is here, but it's these warm, engaged, wonderful people who make it possible to find all of these records. The library is staffed by volunteers and is funded by membership, donations, and sales of self-published and used books. The member reaches as far as California because of the geographical scope of the research. Let me ask you a question. Before there was Ancestry and that sort of stuff, how did you research your family history?
You go to courthouses, libraries, archives, cemeteries. You ask relatives. You write letters to people. You call people on the phone, and you just dig in the records.
Mom was most concerned about paying for copies immediately so they didn't think we were stealing them.
All right, well,
We'll figure it out, but who's that?
huh?
Who's that?
It's my grandfather and grandmother.
And do you know who that is?
No,
Do you care who that is?
not really.
We thanked them, and I was already making plans about coming to see them again. And then came Helene. Considering how my mother and her neighbors were affected, I couldn't stop thinking about the library, how they were affected. Both Carolyn and Nancy agreed to do a Zoom call with me. Both had a bit of trouble with their service, but I was blown away by what they had to say.
It's overwhelming. It's grief and still a surreal feeling of not being able to process it all, in a lot of ways, not wanting to. The help has been phenomenal, and the falsehoods about the response are criminal. It's been just awe-inspiring, the kind of response that's here, and the thousands of people. Cooperation is survival, and we don't have that understanding of a need for each other any longer. And today, tomatoes come in a can from the grocery store. It's not neighbors helping harvest a field, and then you go to the other person to harvest another one. The women all quilting together to get quilts produced. The whole gestalt was cooperation to help each other, because we were only as well off as our community.
We have neighbors that don't talk to each other, and they're talking to each other and helping each other. And people coming in, the supplies that have been brought in has just been amazing.
Our neighbors and some of these people who we vehemently disagree with, our ancestors could have danced together. That's what the research does for me, is it makes the world sort of a smaller place. We will be back. And I would really suggest to everybody to check out your genealogical societies, your small libraries, your places where volunteers pour so much passion into their work. You never know who or what you might find.
Drinking of the wine